Hi, I'm Max.
And I'm Skylar.
Recently, we decided to start watching Bob's Burgers to see what it was all about.
And it didn't take us long to become completely obsessed with the show.
But one of the things we love the most about the show is the brilliant end credit sequences.
Which is why we created this podcast.
Each week, we're going episode by episode to talk about the elaborate end credits.
We're excited to have you join us right here on Bob's Credits.
We'll make sure the Bob's Burgers end credits get the credit they're due.
All right!
I'm
waiting for you to do a Chip Chipperoo. I think you were supposed to do a Chip Chipperoo.
I feel like I have to be honest with you.
Yeah.
This really does not feel authentic to my personality. But I will do one for you.
You have one ready to go?
I mean, maybe.
Okay.
But this doesn't feel right. And I feel like I've given you the Chip Chipperoo, and now you're forcing the Chip Chipperoo on me.
All of our fans and listeners love the Chip Chipperoo. They're commenting all the time on that how their team Chip Chipperoo. No one has ever said a negative thing about the Chip Chipperoo introductions.
Who said she didn't like it recently?
One of our, I think Jacqueline was her name. One of our fans.
Jacqueline,
yeah.
We're about to become best friends.
But I don't think that's what she really meant. I think it was like a rom-com kind of like, I hate the Chip Chipperoo.
Oh, you're so annoying. We'll fall in love.
Yes, but 90 minutes into it, her and the Chip Chipperoo have run off together.
I love it
for the rest of their lives.
That is so true. Like a lot of 90s rom-coms, like the men that they like butt heads with are so toxic.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll do the Chip Chipperoo.
Oh.
If you don't want to. Okay, I've got one for you. I knew that you weren't. I knew that you didn't want to do it. I knew that you didn't.
This is working. This reverse
is
psychology.
This is important because it's a cheerleading episode and we've got to have the spirit. So are you ready?
I am ready.
We've got the spirit. Yes, we do. We've got the spirit. Chip Chipperoo.
10.
All right.
10.
Thank you.
Now, y'all clicked on this episode. You know we're going to be going over Gene It On.
Mm-hmm.
Max.
I'm still going to ask you for the title.
Of course.
Later.
That's what we do on this podcast.
Uh-huh.
How glad are you that I made you watch Bring It On last year?
You know what? It wasn't like something that I was like dreading. It's kind of one that just like I never saw, even
though
it was like the biggest
massive
movie.
blockbuster that just like slipped Max by.
Yeah. So I'm glad we watched it. I don't know if it's how well it's aged overall, but you could say that for every comedy.
Yeah.
That, it's nothing ages well. Comedies especially are not timeless.
Yeah. Oh, Legally Blonde aged pretty well.
I think Legally Blonde aged pretty well. There's certain ones that do age.
Hold on. Let me just fill the audience in. Max makes me watch all this stuff. And I discovered he hadn't seen Legally Blonde. He hadn't seen Bring It On. So, we're learning to compromise.
I'm open to watching all these. That's the thing.
You're open?
Yes.
You're open to it?
Yes.
You've been telling me we would watch Bridget Jones' Diary for like 2 years now.
It's a matter of you saying, we're watching this tonight.
That's not my personality, though.
Well, then there it is. There it is, folks.
Okay. All right. We will be watching
Bridget
December
Jones,
1st.
Romy and Michelle.
You've seen that, though.
Yeah, but I'd watch it again. It's been a long time.
It's so good.
Do you think that's aged well?
I bet that has aged well. But we'll see. You can't. Sometimes you can't remember the little details.
You know what I feel like's aged well? Bridesmaids.
But that's not that old.
It's 10 years now.
Fuck.
Right? Well, that's why I think it's aged well, because you'd think like that was 10 years ago. How much has changed in 10 years? That you can probably go watch that. Although I haven't watched it in a while.
Yeah.
You could probably go watch that, and it holds up really well.
Yeah, I mean, female writer and director, right?
Not director.
That's right.
Paul Feig.
But Paul
writers,
Feig is just the
it's
best.
Kristen Wiig and what's her name, Annie Momola or whatever from Barb and Star. Go to Vista Del Mar.
If you've seen that, let us know your thoughts on it. You know what? It's okay that we took a kind of chick flick detour because this episode's called Gene It On.
Yeah. And I also think that chick flick needs to...
It's really fun to say, but it definitely...
In the era of Bring It On, I think that's a very common phrase, and it made sense because of the kind of movies they were turning out for. These are for guys and these are for women, and this is you can't see, the other sex can't see this and the other sex can't see enjoy this.
Yes. I agree. It's a totally sexist term, but I have to say I love chick flicks.
I enjoy them too.
I love them.
I've enjoyed ones that I've been introduced to late in life that I maybe missed because I was a stupid boy in the 90s.
Have you seen Walking and Talking yet?
No.
Everybody, it is so good. Catherine Keener, we were just talking about her the other day on the podcast. It's so good. It's very, very smart. It's like, I don't even know how it was made in the 90s. I just think it really depicts women in such an authentic way.
I think Gene would be very proud of this conversation.
I do too. Should we dive into some...
Bob pun or Max pun?
Yeah.
We sure can. This is, okay. This was an accident because the first one is would be considered a quote unquote chick flick or a rom-com at the time.
Love it.
But I wouldn't categorize it now as that.
Okay.
Your first pun is riding in cars with bok choys.
That was not a chick flick. That film was devastating.
I never saw it.
It's so good.
You've talked about it a lot lately because Steve Zahn was in it and we were watching White Lotus.
It's like he's an alcoholic. Oh my God. It's like I will
Drew
bawl.
Barrymore.
Yeah. Bob.
Yes.
Yes. That was tough. You were trying to trick me.
I was because I love bok choy.
We were talking about that film recently.
The bok choy movie?
No.
What?
Riding in Cars with Boys.
Yeah, I was really trying to... both of those two, I was trying to throw you off. Your second pun is... I was going to sing this, but I'm not going to sing it because it's too hard to say. When a man arugula loves a woman.
Oh. I always wanted to walk down the aisle to that song.
The original or the Michael Bolton one?
The original.
Okay.
Max.
Yes. Here we go. She's 2-2 right now. Wham ham, thank you, ma'am.
Bob.
No.
Damn.
No. Okay, and your final one is Sriracha right where I want you.
I don't know. Max.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Only one. That's good.
That's good.
You've been doing pretty well lately. Should we get into the episode?
Yeah,
We've gone on enough tangents. We'll probably go on a few more.
I could talk about, like, when we end this podcast, I could talk about chick flicks.
We're going to
air quotes for the rest of the day.
Look, we are going to get into the episode, but there's one more thing we have to do here. I want to thank our newest Patreon subscriber, Misty Gordon. Misty, thank you so much for subscribing. We've got a lot of great things going on over at Patreon, and it means the world that people are subscribing and checking out and commenting and interacting with us over there and enjoying the episodes. So,
Misty,
thank you.
You made our day. Welcome to the family.
You've made me misty-eyed.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, you've got so much Bob in you.
Oh my God. I will make puns out of our Patreon subscribers' names if they want.
I love that. Thank you, Misty.
Yeah. Means the world to us. Okay, let's get into this episode. Skylar, can we have the title and synopsis for Season 4, Episode 20, please?
The title is Gene It On, and here is a very succinct synopsis. When Tina tries out for the Wagstaff cheer squad, Jean is the one who ends up making the team. Linda goes full cheer mom, trying as best she can to live vicariously through him.
This episode came out on May 4th, 2014. It was written by Greg Thompson and directed by Chris Song. I feel like Linda puts that pressure on Gene a lot when Gene has something going on. Remember what she does with him when he's in theater? That's a later episode.
There's a whole stage mom.
Yeah, it's just too much. And he's
honestly would be someone who would end up being famous because he doesn't have the self-awareness. Like, he's talented and weird and quirky, and if you just let him fly, Gene's gonna fly. Do you think I'm reading that right?
No, I agree. And I think he is purely into cheerleading for the outfit.
Like
It
he
seems
was
like
for
to me.
baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's
I think
very
he likes
good at
costumes.
yelling and rhyming.
That's true too. I mean, he was playing his belly. That's why he was
Yeah.
noticed at the cheerleading
Yeah.
tryouts.
I mean, I love a good costume.
And Jean does as well.
Yeah. I have a question for you. I'm not sure huge Bob's Burger fans are going to like it.
Okay.
Was Linda getting on your nerves this episode?
This is look. We're gonna get into the credits. I don't want to spoil it, but Linda annoyed us in credits not too long ago,
Yeah.
and she kind of annoys me in these. But I don't want to get to those yet.
Okay, but
But-
I'm talking about the episode.
Yes, she gets to be a little too much sometimes. She's a little overbearing, and she needs to let Jean fly and Jean not get in his face. And I'm glad they wrap it up at the end of the episode, which we'll also play a little clip of before we get into the credits. But yeah, I agree.
I feel
think Bob tries to call
horrible.
her out on it.
But I understand that like the stage mom thing is a little bit annoying, but did like her and her dialogue and her loudness annoy you?
More towards the end
Mm-hmm.
and more in the credits.
Yeah. Anyway, so Linda has some of my favorite moments, and it wasn't this episode. I literally feel like we're getting hate mail like sent to us right now.
Right now, you know that no one's listening live, right? This is not going to come out for
No,
a few weeks.
they
so no
would
one's-
know.
You think
they would know. They're
You think there's,
sending
like, someone...
carrier pigeons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but that's good because with carrier pigeons, it probably won't get to us until this has gone live. So it'd be good timing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We're apparently we're podcasting from Hogwarts.
That's what I was thinking. Like that our fans would send us howlers.
Howlers. Okay.
And you know what that is, right?
Yeah, it's like that screaming message.
Yeah. Max is a Harry Potter fan, in quote marks.
Okay. I'm glad you did the physical because you know our listeners can't see or hear this right now, right?
You sound different when you do the quote marks.
You're right. Your voice did change there.
Yep. All right. So how did you feel about this episode?
Overall, I enjoyed the episode. I will say that Jocelyn is back. She is very prominent in this episode, and that makes me happy because I love me some Jocelyn. Everyone knows that.
Now, this is actually not only is she back, but this is where her and Tammy are going to be paired. So maybe we can assume that they met at cheerleading.
Yeah.
And now they're joined at the hip.
Because they kind of don't like each other here. They're not besties
It's not-
really yet.
Not yet.
There's a secret rom-com going on between the two of them, I think. They don't really like each other that much. They're kind of butting heads here and there. But eventually we know they're going to be buddies.
I love it. Do you think Jocelyn was full Jocelyn?
No. And we're going to cover that when we do the evolution of Jocelyn over on Patreon. We'll talk about when Jocelyn has kind of like this crossover where she becomes...
One of the funniest
The best.
side character.
Yeah.
And in
She's
Max's
not quite
world,
there
the
yet.
best.
Yeah.
I like her voice is there, but her lines, she's not quite, quotes again, as like dumb, or like her lines weren't as like just like off the wall as they become, and that's my favorite part about her.
Yeah, I do think every line she has, like later on in the series, is like a zinger.
Yes.
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
And John Roberts, who obviously does the voice of Linda, does her voice, and it's just it's so perfect.
It's so good. All right.
I've got some
Now
some
I feel
fun
bad
facts.
about being hard on Linda.
Oh, well, you know what? The Howlers are going to come get you.
Okay. I deserve them.
So let's talk about voices. We were just talking about voices. I do voices. We always do
Every
that.
time.
Every time. A little Mrs. Doubtfire reference. For those of you kids who are young, don't know that quote. Billy Eichner is back for his second appearance as Mr. Ambrose, an other character I can't wait to do an evolution of because he is amazing.
He is amazing, and he is one of my favorite parts of this episode. Like,
Yes.
I think that he may be funnier than Jean in this episode.
He might be, and I think he's funnier than Jocelyn in this episode.
Oh, 100%.
And Billy Eichner is such a perfect voice for this character.
I mean, it is perfection.
Huge Billy on the Street energy.
Yeah.
He's so mean. He loves to stir up the drama.
I love that he got, like, turned down as the drama club.
Yeah, so
Like
he's forced.
teacher.
Yeah, he was edged out by Mrs. LeBons of all people, which is
crazy.
LeBon's
She must have seniority.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But he tries to
stir the pot.
He tries to pit Gene and another new character, Todd, voiced by, do you know?
Mr. Peel.
Yeah, no, not Mr. Peel. Keegan-Michael Key, the other half of Key and Peele.
Oh.
This is his first appearance as Todd, but Todd will make a few appearances over the course of the series. It's the second voice Keegan-Michael Key has done on the show.
Okay.
Let's see here. A couple non-voice fun facts for you. This is a pretty big one.
I don't do voices.
You don't do voices. This episode has the second official kiss between Jimmy Pesto Jr. and Tina since season 1. Sheesh Kebab, that episode at the end of her birthday party. Her
like
Jimmy Pesto
very Jr. like I found that very like 16 Candles, that kiss.
Absolutely.
Whoa. Okay.
They kiss. Louise vomits.
Yeah. So funny that he only likes her when she's playing hard to get. Air quotes again.
Typical boy, am I right?
Typical.
Talk about your 90s rom-coms.
Yeah. Yeah. That's bold to kiss in front of your sister.
Yeah.
They're shameless.
Yeah. They don't care. They don't care. Louise cares. Louise is not having it. She's just eating a bunch of pies and it makes her throw up. Mm-hmm. The combo.
Have you ever been in a revolving restaurant like that?
There was one at LAX. I don't know if it's still there, but that was the one in LA, the big one. And I have, yes.
Darn. It's like in Dallas where I grew up. I think it's called Reunion Arena. But there's this, when you see photos of Dallas skylines, you see this like ball shape a lot. And that's a revolving restaurant.
And you've been in it.
Yeah.
And don't you think the revolving, I know they wanted to show that it's a revolving restaurant, but it moved a lot. It moves very slowly when you're in it in the restaurant. Like it takes its time.
Yeah.
And I think Louise was upset how slow it was, but it was still moving a lot faster than a typical revolving restaurant. Oh,
totally.
Moves.
Totally. I loved that you could see the wharf though. And if you guys ever go to New Orleans, you have to go to the Carousel Bar.
That's great. Yeah. The bar moves and it's carousel themed and you go around in a circle and that's very slow, but it kind of messes with your head. Especially if you're drinking. Especially if you've had a few drinks and you're like, whoa, I was over here and now I'm over here, but I didn't feel myself moving really.
Max said the funniest thing on our walk yesterday because we talk frequently on this.
I typically do.
We talk frequently about how Max doesn't really like talking to anyone. He was like, the one place I would talk to someone would be in New Orleans. I was like, okay. And he was like, yeah, if we were at the Carousel Bar, I'd talk to a stranger. I was like, okay. Good to know.
Interesting people stop in those places, especially the Carousel Bar. I do love that Louise vomits on the window and then just doesn't care because no one's going to know who did it.
It's so great.
Because it's the
not at her spot.
Revolving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just blame everyone else.
Disgusting, though.
The final fun fact I have for you is this is the first episode where Zeke says, "Do what?" Which he ends up saying pretty regularly. It's kind of
I think I saw
it's like a semi catchphrase.
Tattoo.
Really?
Yes,
just
a
browsing.
Zeke do what tattoo. What good timing. That's amazing. I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us.
So we can monitor the do whats.
I love it.
On Evolution of Zeke on Patreon, we'll definitely cover some of those do whats.
Oh, I can't wait to do that.
We can do a do what roundup.
It'll be a duet between you and me.
A do what duet.
I love it.
Should we get into the credits?
Let's do it.
Okay. So the final moments before, we're going to have two final moments really because they want to close up both storylines. Linda and Gene are making up after his team has drastically lost. They came in last place.
But did you get the Bring It On reference with the team stealing the other routine?
Got it.
Okay.
I absolutely got that all. And then there's a little wrap up at the revolving restaurant as well before we get into the end credits.
I'm just hungry.
Oh, you're always hungry on this podcast.
Here's a new stunt. A pyramid of kids with the kid on top spinning another kid around like a windmill.
Go on.
I call it the Daffy Dutchman.
Stop. Let's give it a shot right now. Squad, Mom, walk us through it.
No.
Ready. Okay.
No. Man, are we ever gonna get that check? Oh, hey, look, here comes my vomit again.
Hi, Vomit.
We got spirit on our team, that's great!
So you do kind of have to play that last little bit because you hear the guitars strumming or the even the ukulele strumming the like first couple notes or chords from the theme song.
Yes.
Tell us what happens as we jump into the end credits.
As we jump into the end credits, Linda jumps in some cheering motions in the window.
In the service window, we're in our generic credit sequence. Bob, Louise, and Tina are prepping burgers. And we get kind of this football band, college band version of
the theme song.
marching band. I don't know why couldn't think of marching band.
Which plays to the cheerleading.
Yes.
In the episode.
Yes. And it's a marching band version of the theme song.
I have to say, the way Linda's words sync up with this like slowed down marching band version is really satisfying.
Yeah.
Do you want to listen?
Yeah, let's go back just a little bit.
Hi, Vomit.
We got spirit on our team, that's great! You got spirit on your team, that's great!
You know, I commented that I thought it was annoying.
Mm-hmm.
This is not as annoying as I enjoy it more than the one we...
Oh my God. There's no...
What was she chanting in that one? Oh, yeah. Oh, God. That was her...
It was the music. She wasn't doing it.
Right. It was when she was, when she was a psychic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That one drove me crazy, but this one is so much better.
This
and
is actually really funny.
I don't know if you know this about me.
Well, probably.
I love marching band versions of songs.
Oh, I think I did know that about you.
I will watch those like YouTube videos of the marching bands performing. I think they're so fun. I have such nostalgia for like college football games.
Uh-huh.
And I think it's so some of the stuff that marching bands are able to pull off is so incredible.
I mean, and it's on this like big scale. It's pretty goosebump. Gives you some goosebumps.
There you go. Yeah, I agree. Skylar and I struggle sometimes with words, and it's great as podcast hosts.
Oh, come on. We're fine. I hate this whole like everybody has to be perfect.
I need Skylar to be perfect.
No.
Yes.
No.
That's our rom-com. I just want her to be perfect all the time.
No, you're not like that at all.
Not at all. I just don't feed you until we've recorded a podcast.
That is true.
And also, like, you got to learn the song. It's got to be.
Oh, we're still talking about marching bands.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This is turning into full-on marching band appreciation podcast.
Okay.
And then they've got to like create these images on the field. It's just incredible.
Oh, so you need a physical performance too.
That's what's incredible watching these YouTube videos. Like when they're doing like the Jurassic Park theme song, and they can go into the shape of the Jurassic Park logo or something. Sign me up.
What marching band are you watching?
Oh my God, the best marching bands.
Is this a high school marching band?
No, I'm talking about like college football. They're like A+ level. And they also don't get respect. That's the problem.
Well, they're getting respect from you.
Yeah.
And from me now. That's
and
wonderful.
Hopefully everyone else. Anyway, I digress. Maybe I'll do a Patreon episode just by myself. No one has to listen to it, but I'm going to just talk about the best marching bands.
I would click on a few links if you sent out a roundup of best vids.
Okay. I'm not saying I won't do it.
You could forward them around to your family.
Yeah.
Be a delight.
Yeah, okay.
I don't remember what the Ultimate Kick is from, but...
It's Ultimate Punch or Ultimate Kick?
Punch.
That's from Hot Rod, I think, the Andy Samberg movie, which is hilarious.
Do you guys see what movies he makes me watch? And he hasn't watched Bridget Jones' Diary? I've watched something called Hot Rod with him.
How good was Hot Rod?
Well, I mean, it's one of the funny parts has made a permanent appearance in our lives.
Yes.
But Linda does an Ultimate Punch.
Not as good as Pop Star.
Pop Star was fun.
Pop Star, Never Stopping.
Yep.
Full name. Yeah.
Okay, so she does like a backwards jump and kicks her leg and throws her arms up, which is great. Should we keep going?
Yeah. Okay, so those first few noises, we have no idea what she's doing because she's off camera, off
Yeah.
screen. What do you imagine she's doing over there when she's doing those?
It kind of sounds like she doesn't have any lyrics, so she's just, this is before we actually see what she's doing. So she's just kind of like trying to force something out of her mouth. What did you think she was doing?
I think she had kind of like made her way all the way over to like by the kitchen door.
Yes.
And then she was like doing like the pelvic thrust hop all the way back to the service window before she comes in punching, as we see.
I like that. So I like that. She needed her voice to help her.
They just sound like, heh, heh, heh. Could be some pelvic thrust hops.
Yeah, there's some leg work.
Pelvic thrust hops.
There's some leg work going on there for sure. Okay. So then we see her and she's going, huh, huh, huh. And she's punching. Very
Yeah.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, they're prepping burgers. There's customers in the restaurant if it's not just Teddy.
Yes. I mean, maybe it is Teddy. And he's like, how was your week?
And she's like, oh, I've been cheerleading. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, let me see some of those moves, Linda.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me turn on this music. It's the marching band version. I love marching bands, Teddy. Oh, I do too. Let's talk about marching bands for a little
Yep.
bit.
That definitely happened.
Yeah.
And I think her lines are like at the beginning, like, I've got spirit, you've got spirit. That's great. It's funny. It's funny dialogue in the beginning of this. Keep
Let's see
moving
how
forward.
she finishes this up.
Okay.
WORDS words. BOBSBURGERS. Burger's best.
What was that? But burger's best.
Ready to eat.
Okay, we're going to have to hear the end of that again, but I let it all play through because she was doing so many different things. So she spells off camera, she spells words.
Yes.
WORDS.
Which is a throwback to the beginning of the episode.
Mm-hmm. And then she spells out Bob's Burgers. In the window, she's
She
attempting-
spells out Bob's Burgers or just burgers?
Bob's Burgers.
Whoa.
She's attempting to do every single letter as
Yeah.
she's spelling it. I don't know if she succeeds there. I'm going to go back a little bit.
Okay.
BOBSBURGERS. Burger's best. Are you ready to eat?
Okay.
She does not do the right arm movements.
No. And
This
she
was an
says, Bob's Burgers best.
Yeah.
And are you ready to eat?
But
Ah,
she's
you.
like, when she says best, like she's like running out of breath, which is hysterical.
Yeah, and then she does like a jump kick in the air.
She's trying to do a herky, I think, and it's horrible.
What's a herky? Like a bell kick?
You guys, when Max and I were first dating, he would not shut up about bell kicks. He talked about them all the time.
I did?
Yes.
Oh.
A herky is like a toe touch.
What? How much can you bring bell kicks into a conversation?
I mean, great question. How much can you tolerate bell kicks in a conversation?
Why are you still here in this relationship?
Because I had dad issues, I think.
Okay.
Okay, so a herky is a toe touch, but this goes like this, and then this leg goes like this.
This is great for a podcast. Okay. Skylar has bent in all sorts of different...
And I have to say, Tammy's toe touch was freaking phenomenal.
Really?
Her toes were like up here. That was like very impressive.
Good for Tammy.
Yeah.
At the very end there, Gene comes in his burger costume. I'm a little disappointed. That's one of my low lights, which we'll get into, is that Gene isn't in his cheerleading costume. Might as well
Yeah.
be. But I guess they wanted it to be an all Linda
Yeah.
extravaganza for these end credits.
I do feel like he has phases of things, and he's like over it now.
Yeah.
Do you think he's like over cheerleading?
You're right. Okay, let's get into these are highlights, lowlights section, but that's a low light. But you're right. Gene is known for this is me now. This is me now. This is me
Yes.
now. He's done with the cheerleading.
Which I love.
I think he's done. Yeah, Linda's still in that zone, but
Yeah.
he's done. He's moved on. He's back to being the burger boy.
I think the highlight for me, I think the funniest part is the kids not reacting at all, even Bob not reacting, and she's just flailing around. And it's like, yeah, let's just let mom be mom.
Yeah, I think she gets to the point where she keeps running it into the ground and they do react initially, but then just like this is it. This is Linda being Linda. She's going to keep going until she gets tired of this, and it's the next thing.
And she is
gets
getting
excited
tired.
about.
Her breath is like wearing out.
Physically and mentally
Yeah.
exhausted.
That's what I do. If you keep like hounding a joke, sometimes I just like won't respond.
If I keep driving the conversation towards bell kicks, you just like let me run it out until I don't care about bell kicks anymore.
Yeah.
But now we've gone full circle because I'm very into bell kicks. I'm going to start doing them more often.
Oh my God. This is like something you would say. Why are we back to bell kicks?
That's what I'm saying. It's gone full circle now. So now we're a bell kick only family.
Okay, no herkies.
No herkies, just bell kicks.
Okay.
What else before we get into scoring here?
I think you were so impressed that you knew the term for a bell kick that you just had to keep bringing it up because you knew I was a dancer.
Yeah, that was the one thing I knew.
Yeah.
And jazz square.
Yeah.
And jazz hands. Barrel roll.
Barrel roll.
Can't do those.
You could if you tried.
I'll try it and hurt myself.
Okay.
Should we score them?
Yes. Do you want to go first?
Sure. We score on a scale of 1 to 10 H's at the end of Tina's I'm going to give this you know what? I'm going to give it an 8 H's.
Wow.
I thought I was going to be, I complained at the beginning and thought Linda's annoying, but again, I love the marching band version of the theme.
Mm-hmm. It's really good.
I find her spelling out Bob's Burgers at the end hilarious.
And we didn't mention, she's like, who's ready to eat?
Yeah, yeah. It's not as annoying. I think the only part I don't like is when she's going like, ha, 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 because it reminds me too much of the psychic episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they're pretty good.
Yeah.
But
part of me thinks that she knows she has to get it out of her. So Bob was like, you have 10 minutes. Do it.
Did everyone hear that? Bisky's having a puppy dream. I don't know if that picked up on the mic, but
I certainly heard it.
He has the cutest puppy dreams.
Oh, his tail just twitched.
Can you do an impression of him dreaming?
He whimpers, so he'll do like...
Yeah, it's like a...
But then he'll do his growls.
Yeah, and they'll go...
Yeah, this was like much more endearing than I thought it would be. And it just tickles me that there's people in the restaurant. So I'll give it a 7.
7. Okay, a little bit lower than me.
Yep, that's how numbers work.
Yeah. Wow, sassy. It's getting closer and closer to lunch, everyone.
Is it noon?
It's noon.
Okay, that's my lunchtime.
Yeah, I know.
What time
I can
is
tell
it?
by the way you just... Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you.
Those were the end credits to Gene and On. Please follow us on social media. Bob's Credits. We'll be posting some fun stuff. Skylar's yawning. Anything you want to say to everyone before we get out of here? Stay SAUCY.
Yes, I love that. Thank you.
Go. You do it now.
Stay SAUCY.
Stay saucy.
Herky.
Bell kick.
No.
Yes.
No.